Sometimes all it takes to make a huge difference is just one small, subtle change. And that concept can be applied to a lot of things in life, guys, especially guitar, which we're about to talk about in a few seconds here, but even things like your tone. Sometimes you can make just one small, subtle change to the EQ or the gain, or add this or add that or take away that, and then you've got this really cool tone that you've been looking for. Hey, you can even apply this to your nutrition program. Maybe you're doing what I do most of the time, the good old 80-20. You eat good and healthy 80% of the time, and 20% of the time you relax a little bit. Well, maybe you want to get a little bit leaner, so you bump that 80 up to 82, maybe even 83. Small, subtle change, but 2-3 weeks from now, you'll notice some differences in your physique and the way you feel. Back to the guitar. So this is my ESP E2 Horizon FR7 7-string beast. Now, I know some of you are saying, Jason, dude, I thought you're getting rid of this thing, man. You've had this rocky relationship with your 7-string. We'll talk more about that at the end of the video, which kind of ties into the change that we're making here. So do hang around for that. So what's the subtle change we're making? Well, we're gonna go from 10s to 9s on this guitar. We're just changing the string gauge. And again, this is not a huge change. It's not like we got super heavy strings and we're going to extra lights. We've got lights 10 through 56. We're gonna go to super lights 9 to 52. And I'm gonna want your feedback, of course, in the comments to let me know if you can even hear a difference in tone, and if you can, which one you like best. I'll have some rhythms, some leads, and then after that, later in the video, of course, you'll hear the most important, and that's the full mix. So before we get started, well, we've got to change strings. Alright, so that was just some simple rhythms, kind of let those power chords ring out a little bit so you can just get a really good feel for how the tone is with both the 10s and the 9s. And again, did you really hear a difference? Well, don't comment quite yet because we've got some leads to listen to, and remember, we've got a full mix coming up as well. So let's hear some solos. Now now it's time for the most important part of this video, and that is comparing the full mix, 10s and 9s. So check this out. So I'm going to tell you the real reason I went from 10s to 9s, but first, as you continue watching this video, go ahead and drop me a comment and let me know first, could you even tell a difference between the 10s and the 9s? I know we had some rhythms by themselves, some leads, and of course we had the full mix there. Let me know in the comments below if you could tell any difference and if it was a substantial difference. But the reason I changed string gauge had really nothing to do with tone. I wanted better playability. So I've been struggling with this guitar for a long time now, as of course some of you know who have been following me for a long time. Thank you, by the way. I really appreciate that. Real quick, while we're talking about that, please give this video a big thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to my channel if you haven't already. But yeah, I've had this guitar, guys, for like, I guess it's been almost 4 years now. I recorded an album with it. I recorded the Masterpiece album, which I released in 2019. My first album with a 7-string guitar. I actually recorded some other projects as well. One of those projects will be released in 2023 for a different band. But anyway, so I just struggled with it though, guys. I went from loving it one minute to like, I would pick up my 6-string guitars and I'm like, okay, well, this feels more like home. And I don't know why it just now dawned on me, like almost 4 years later, that, hey, why don't you try changing the string gauge? Since you play 9s on all your 6-string guitars, why are you playing with 10s on your 7-string? I guess I had this preconceived notion, and this is the problem with preconceived notions, that because it's a 7-string and we've got that heavier fill, we've got that B string on there, that it needed a little bit heavier strings to sound good. And for some time, Elixirs, and that's my choice of strings. I'm not sponsored by them, not yet anyway. You never know when that could change, because I love Elixir strings, as most of you know. They were out of production for 7-string guitars, for 9s for 7-string guitars for quite some time. So I just saw that at Sweetwater. I'm like, you know what? Let's order some of these. I ordered 2 packs of them and I decided to change them. So I'm actually a lot happier with the playability, especially for soloing and for leads. And guys, I don't really care for thick strings. And this is a personal preference, guys. I know some of you like heavier strings. I'm not telling you to go light on your strings or super light like I did. Play what feels most comfortable and most natural to you. Play what you like, what fits you the best. I just like lighter strings all the way around. I've got light strings on my acoustic. I'm thinking about dropping those down as well. You guys saw the Martin video, the new Martin guitar I just bought. I just posted that a couple of days before this video. But yeah, already the B string just feels a lot better on my hands, on my fingers here. And of course my leads bending and all that stuff. It just feels so much better. So I'm kind of falling in love with my 7-string guitar again here, which is a cool thing. Oh, and by the way, the amp I'm using here, this is a new one for me. I just bought the metal extension pack. I think it's just called the metal pack for Positive Grid's Bias FX2, and it has this really cool amp in there called Jeff Loomis. So that's what you're hearing. And also the riff that you heard, and I'll end the video with that riff with a full mix. The riff that you heard in the full mix, if you guys would like for me to do a lesson on that, because there's some really important concepts within what I'm doing. If you guys would like a lesson on that, let me know in the comments as well, and I'll put something out there for you. So guys, thank you again. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, and until the next video, as always, keep it metal.